Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, where I'm very happy today to be announcing a new puzzle pack. So as this video comes out over on my free Patreon, and available for download whether you're a free member or not, so available to everyone, is a new puzzle pack which will be posted to my collections page. There'll be a link to the pack below, Sliced Sudoku. Is this the best thing since Sliced Sudoku? That's up to you. So, and anything can be judged as the best thing since Sliced Sudoku from now on in, because we're bringing you Sliced Sudoku, a sandwich Sudoku pack. Now, this puzzle, which is Torta by James Sinclair, will be a bonus puzzle in the pack. This is a sandwich Sudoku, and this puzzle has been created to do this release video, this announcement video. We've been working on this pack for about 4 months, there are a bunch of setters that have been involved in creating the 39 puzzles in the pack. Available for free. You do not need to be a Patreon member. Everyone will be able to go and download the pack. Link below. Now, there'll be a link to this puzzle, Torta by James Sinclair, below. But the important thing is, in a couple of days as well, we will start releasing daily videos in my early puzzle release slot of all of the puzzles in the pack. They've all been recorded. They're all ready to go. And they will be released in the order the puzzles are in the pack as well. But you don't need to wait. You can go and download the pack. All of this is being made available for free. I do not believe that puzzles that I didn't create should be something that I charge for. I don't think that should be a thing. So I'm not charging for them. That's not the way I roll. Even puzzles I do create, I tend not to charge for, at least not necessarily I'm doing them as a sneak preview, but there's no sneak preview here. You can go and download the pack right now. Now, as I said, there's 29 puzzles in this sandwich Sudoku pack, and the setters involved are Ambrose, BremSter, Chili, EPH, Flinty and Palpot, Frapp, FullDeck and Missing a few cards, heliopolix, jeremydover, Myxo, randall, Raumplaner, Sotek, timotab, go check out Timotab's channel, it's really good, virtual, and Wuschel. All of these creators have created a bunch of amazing puzzles for this pack, and honestly, some of those puzzles are mind-blowing. Some of them are really tricky, but we've rated them according to our standard difficulties: walk in the park, scenic hike, and trek into the wilderness, and put them together into a pack for you. Really hope you enjoy the pack. As I said, links below. Now I'm going to try and record this introductory puzzle, Torta by James Sinclair. And yeah, let's go through the rules of how sandwich Sudoku works, because you've got a whole bunch of sandwich Sudoku puzzles to look forward to. So let's have a look. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. You have sandwich. So the numbers outside the grid give the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So for example, in this column, between the 1 and the 9, there are digits summing to 5. In this row, between the 1 and the 9, there are digits summing to 0. In this row, between the 1 and the 9, there are digits summing to 10. Also in this puzzle, we have Renban. So digits placed on a purple line must be a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So for example, these could be 1, 2, 3, and they could be in any order. So we could go 1, 2, 3. That would be fine, as long as the digits on the line are a consecutive run of digits. When you take them off and sort them, they're a consecutive run. So you could do 5, 6, and 7 on this line would be fine, but 5, 6, and 8 wouldn't be okay, because 5, 6, and 8 is, if you took them off and sorted them, is not a run of digits. You also couldn't make both of these digits 5 and this 6, because there is a repeating digit on the line, and you're not allowed to repeat digits on the line. We also know that in these squares, the even rule is digits in bordered squares must be even. So these squares digits must be even. They're the rules of the puzzle. That's what we know. I've not solved this one before, so it is possible you will get an edit point here. If I'm unable to solve this puzzle and I need assistance, I'm going to edit this point right here, because I don't want to have to redo the whole introduction. But at this point, I'm going to attempt to restart the puzzle, to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So what can we tell about these clues? Well, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 9. So this is a 9 cell length line. So we can only have 1, 1 and 1, 9 on this line. So there is a 0 clue here and a 0 clue here. So if this was a 1, I don't think that can be a 1 or a 9. Because if this was a 1 or a 9, then we couldn't put a 1 or a 9 here, and we couldn't put a 1 or a 9 here. This was I'm not sure. Maybe odd even coloring is, well, we know these are 2, 4, 6, and 8. So how are we going to get 1 and 9 working? So these, the way I do normally color my sandwich and puzzles is I make green the digits that cannot be crust. Or bread is the way I often call it, because you don't use only crusts on sandwich. In fact, when you make sandwich, you normally use the bread, not the crusts. So these cannot be bread. So where can the bread, which are the 1s and the 9s, go? And there's nothing really being forced in this puzzle. I feel it's this line, because there's 1, 1 and 1, 9 on this line. So if I was to put 1, 9 down here, I think we're broken. Because if 1 and 9, I think these have to be the 1s and 9s. Because if I was to put a 1 or a 9 down here, so let's say I was to make this a 1 or a 9, or particularly these. If I was to make this a 1 or a 9, I'm not sure about this cell, but if I was to make any of these a 1 or a 9, I'd have to put a 1 or a 9 next to it. So if this was a 1 or a 9, then I'd have to put a second 1 or 9 next to it. It doesn't matter which one I pick. These would all be 1 or 9, and all of these would become green because I can't repeat the 1 and the 9 on the line. So where do I put the 2 1s and 9s here? They'd have to be here or here, and I'd end up with 3 1s and 9s in this column. So none of these can be 1 or 9. A 1 or 9 down here would put 2 1s and 9s, none here, and I'd have to put 2 together and I'd end up with 3 in this column. So none of these can be 1 or 9, and none of these can be 1 or 9. Now I could do them here and here, I think. But none of these can be 1 or 9. So it's there, there, or there. That's fascinating. So the 1s and the 9s on this line must be in those cells. Now, if I put a 1 or a 9 here, I have to put a 1, 9 here. If I put a 1, 9 here, ooh, this is very strange. If 1, 9 is here, this isn't 1, 9, and these, yeah, if 1, 9 is here, we're broken again. Because these can't be 1, 9, and I need to put 1, 9 in those two for it to be on the line, and they're not together. So 1, 9 is not in those two cells. Because 1, 9 here, if this is a 1 or a 9, this becomes a 1 or a 9. These are not 1, 9. In order to have 1 and 9 on the Renban, they're here, and these are not next to each other. That is broken. So this is not 1, 9. If this is 1, 9, the logic would be symmetrical. Those would be 1, 9. These wouldn't be. These would be. And then those are not next to each other, and this 0 is broken. So, whoops, that is not a 1, 9. This is not a 1, 9. And now those two must be. Because it's either those two and those two, or those two and those two. Now, if it was here and here, I think we're okay. If it's here, if this is a 1, 9, then we get all of those. And these become green, and that would be a 1, 9. And I think that's okay as well. So it's either here and here, or here and here. And I'm not sure. And then those would be the same digit, and those would be the same digit. And I'm not sure which of those breaks. I'm really not sure which of those breaks. if it was here, here and here, then these are the same digit. Neither, hang on, if it was here and here, if this was a 1 or a 9, then neither of these would be 1, 9, and I couldn't put 1 and 9 on the line. It can't be here. It's got to be here. If it was here, it would be here and here. Neither of those would be 1, 9, and I've got 8 digits on the line that are not 1 and 9. It can't be here. This is green. These are the 1, 9s. And this is not a 1, 9. I wonder if I need to color these as different, because I know this is one version of 1, 9. So this is the orange version of 1, 9. I don't know which one it is, but because I can't repeat on the line, this is one version of 1, 9, and this is the other version of 1, 9. That's fascinating. Now, this is a version of 1, 9. Now, the only way to... And these are all green now because all of those, whoops, 4 is my green color, so that went wrong. These are a version of 1, 9. Now, this has to go down, and it can't be a single 5 going down to before it hits yellow, because if this was a single digit 5, I'd have to go 5, and then this would have to be yellow, and it can't be. So this is a 2-digit 5 sum, because you can't do 5 in 3 digits, and then this becomes yellow, which means the only way to do a 2-digit 5 sum. Now, this is an important concept which you will learn as you go through the pack. All of the digits in a row, and by the way, I know those 4 digits are those 4 digits, because these 4 digits need to appear, actually, these 5 digits are these 5 digits. Let's not worry about that. But all of the digits in a row are the digits 1 to 9, and they sum to 45. Now, the crusts in a sandwich are the digits 1 and 9. Those sum to 10. If you subtract 10 from 45, you've got 35. So the filling, the possible filling that you can use in a sandwich are the digits 2 through 8. And that's 45 minus 1 minus 9. So those sum to 35. So, but I'm only working with 2 to 8. And the minimum digits, therefore, I've got are 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 sum to 5. So these must be 2, 3. And this is a filling. And again, I can't do a single 6. So this must be filling. This must be an... Whoops, I didn't register the click. This must be the end, because I can't do a 3-digit 6. Because the 3-digit 6, the minimum you can do in 3 digits of filling is 2, 3, 4, which is 9. And I can't do 3, 3. So this is 2, this is 4, this is 3. And this, well, this is green. And because this is a 1 or a 9, this has to be 2 or 8 to be consecutive with the 1 or 9, and it can't be a 2. So this is 8. These become 9 because it has to be consecutive, and these become 1. And I'm going to change my orange color back to yellow now that I know, because I normally try and just use yellow and orange, but that's locked that in, and that's very cool. This is a beautiful puzzle. And now I've got the 1, and I had the 1 on the 9 on this line always, but what can this be? It can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it's 5, 6, 7, or 8 only. I have to put a 2, 3, 4 on these somewhere, but I haven't locked that in. But what clues are done? The other thing I like to do is mark off which clues are done. The 0 is done, the 0 is done, the 5 is done, the 6 is done. This is beautiful. Now, a 10 clue has to be at least 2 digits. I can't do a 10 in a single clue. So that means the 9 is over here somewhere. These are both green. The 1 is up here somewhere. Okay. Now, all of these become green. The 9 is down here. And the 1 is down here. But the 1 and the 9 must be together in this row. So this can't be a 1 or a 9, because then I'd have to put a 1 or a 9 next to it, and neither of those can be 1, 9. I can't put 1 or 9 together on a Renban. So I couldn't put them here, but I could potentially put them here or here. Potentially. 1 and 9 are both up here, but they can't be on the line together. They can't... I don't think I could put 1 or 9 up here at all. Because if I put 1 here, I couldn't put 9 next to it. This 8 clue is what I'm looking at. If I put 1 here, I couldn't put 9 next to it, or this would be a 0 clue. And if I put 1 or 9 up here, then I need to fulfill an 8 clue. But this is a minimum of 4 digits, and the minimum so if I put a 1 or a 9 here, if the 8 clue went left, it'd be a 0 clue, and if it went right, the minimum would be 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2, 3, 4, 5 is already 14. So I don't think I can make either of those a 1, 9. So these are green. The 1, 9 needs to have a digit between it. So these become the yellow, and the digit between the 1, 9 is an 8. Now these are all green. This can't be, these are both yellow now. So these are 1 and 9. This has to be 2 or 8, and the 8 makes this the 2 because it has to be consecutive with 1 or 9. This isn't 2 or 8. This isn't 2. This is beautiful. There's no 8 here. And in this 0 clue, this can't be a 1 or a 9, or I'd need to put a 1 or a 9 next to it. So that becomes green. And now there must be a 1 or a 9 in either here or here, because I can't put them both on the Renban line, but I'm not sure which one it is. I know there's a 1 in one of those. So it's either 9, 1 here, or one of them here and one of them here. So this is either a fully high or a fully low. And I can't put an 8 on that Renban line. So if this was there must be this is a 1, 2, 3 line. This is beautiful. This line must be 1, 2, 3, because I can't put the 9, 1 here. So the 9, 1 is either, because they need to be together, the 9, 1 is either here or here. So there must be a 1 or a 9 on this line, because I need to put the pair together in this line. But I can't put a 9 on this line, or this line would be 9, 8, 7, and I can't put an 8 on this line. So therefore, this line is 1, 2, 3, and there must be a 9 in one of those two. But the 1 must appear in this column, because there's either a 9, 1 here or a 9, 1 here. This is beautiful. But this 0 clue, I could potentially still put 9, 1 there and 1, 9 there. That could still work. So I'm not going to rule that out yet. But these are 1 and 9. So 1 has to be in one of those two. The 8 clue at the top here is done. This is why I like to ask James Sinclair if he will do a puzzle for the pack, because to help introduce the pack, because I know I'm going to get something brilliant. I'll point out, though, the puzzles in the pack, some of them are just as stunning as this. Some of them, I mean, I haven't finished this yet, but some of them, the break-in is even smarter. Okay, so this is a 1 or a 9. So this is either 2, 3 or 8, 7. This can't be 2 or 3. So this is a 7 or 8. So this is a 7 or 8. This is the 9. This is the 1, which means this isn't the 1. This is the 1. This is so good. This is now a green cell. There is a 9 down here. These are both green. This 8 in row 1 makes that the 7 and that the 8, which puts 8 down here. Yeah. These even digits are going to do something at some point, but I haven't figured it out yet. 1, 9 here. This can't be a 1. If this was a 1, for the 0 clue in this row, this would have to go 1, 9, but for the 0 clue in this column, this would have to go 1, 9. That's not the 1. That's the 1. That's the 9. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Now, this has to be green because of the 0 clue. This has to be green because of the 0 clue, and this is the 1, 9, making all of those green. This is amazing. Okay. Now, there's a 9 in one of those two, but I don't know which. This sees 1 and 9. So this is the one in the column. There's a 9 in one of those two. This is green. I've now just got an X-wing on 9s to resolve. So at this point, I feel I can get rid of all of the green. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of all the green. I don't think I need it anymore. Because once I resolve the X-wing on 9s, which I could possibly do very soon, I'm done with all of the sandwich clues. So these have to sum to 12. They can't be 9-3 because 9 is never available in a normal sandwich clue. They can't be 8-4. So this is 5-7. This has to be 5-7 because 6-6 doesn't work. So this is 5-7. Okay, so there must be a 3 in here somewhere. I don't know. This sums to 10. Well, 1-9 is never available. If it's 2-8, it goes 2-8 in this order. If it's 3-7, it's 7-3 in that order. If it's 4-6, it's 6-4 in that order. What is this quadruple? Because I can't use 1. It's 2, 3, 4, 6. So there's a 6 in one of those two. Hang on, these are 2, 3, 4, 6, but I can't use 2 or 3 in any of those. This is a 4-6 pair. So there's no 4 there and there's no 6 there. That's cool. And the 7 is looking down, making that the 8, making that the 2, which makes that the 3 and that the 2. Oh, Lord, the 8 takes 8 out of there and actually takes 8 out of those cells as well. So 8 is in one of these 3. I'm betting all of these have to be different, but I'm not seeing how yet. It's probably got something to do with that Renban. So these are 5, 6, and 7. That's not a 7. So the 7 is in one of those two, which puts 7 down here. Okay, so what other clues are done? This is done. The 10 clue is done. The 12 clue is done. The 0 clue is done. So the only sandwich I haven't used now is this 6. And it can't go this way. Because if this was the 9, it'd either have to be 160, which isn't possible, or 142, which I can't do. So this isn't the 9. This is the 9, which is yellow. This isn't the 9. This is the 9, which is yellow, meaning this is the 6. And this clue is done. Now that removes the 6 from here. No, not the 4. Undo the mistake I just made. This removes the 6 from here. It also looks... I'm not sure what... So what's this triple? One triple, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Well, there's no 7 there. Oh, the 6 makes that the 4 and that the 6, which takes 4 out of there. This 2, 8 needs to appear on this line somewhere. And that's where things are kicking in. These two even digits... I could still hide an even digit there. Once I can disprove that as an even digit, these two even digits need to appear on this Renban line somewhere. And if I could disprove this as even, they'd have to hide here. And similar for those two. But I can still hide a 6 there and therefore duplicate an even digit. But something will happen at some point, maybe. Oh, this is a 2. So this is the 1, this is the 9, which means this is the 1 and this is the 9. I've now done all the 1s and all the 9s. Fine. 7 is absolutely down here. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. There's no 8 there. Now it's got to be these evens. And I'm not seeing it. Now this 2 or 8, It can't be here, and it can't be in those, but it has to be on the Renban. So the 2 or 8 must be in one of those, and I can't put 8 in either of those. Where is the 8 on this line? I can't put an 8 here. I can't put an 8 here. There's no 8 in those. There's no 8 in any of those. The 8 must be in one of those 2 on the line. That's a 2. Which means there's no 2 in any of those or here. There must be a 2 in one of those 2, which means that is not a 2. So clever. So 8 now is in one of those 2 because the 8 is looking up here. So it is something to do with these even digits. 2 is not in any of those. 2 is not in any of those. And those 2s are saying 2s are not there. That's a 2. So this is now an 8 by Sudoku, saying that's not 8, that's 8. So this 4 or 6, if that's a 6, I could put 6 here. But if this is a 6, I could still put 6 on this line. But that being able to be 6 still gives me some leeway. I think. There's a 3 in one of those 2. That that digit could appear here. If it doesn't, it's down here, and this is a different 4, 6. Could these be the same? I think they could. If those are the same, it's 6. Which would put 6 here. Six here. 6 in one of those 2. No, they can't be, but that's a really tricky spot. I've possibly missed something. But if these are the same, let's call them dark green. If those are the same, they can't appear on the line in those spots, and they'd have to go here. Okay, so where does dark green now go in this box? They'd have to be 6 because they can't be 4. So in this box, it couldn't be here, and it's not in any of those. So this becomes dark green. So dark green is now 6. So it's here and here. And now where do I put dark green in this box? It's not in those cells, or those cells, and there's no 6 in box 7. So these cannot be the same. So these 4 6s are different. I don't know how that helps me though. But this is one version of 4 6 and this is a different version of 4 6. So blue. So if this is a 4, there's a 4 in one of those 2. If that's a 4, there's a 4 down here. But these are different. Which gives me even more freedom. I know there's a 2 in one of those 2. Because it can't be in any of those. What can these be? They can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Oh my lord. There's no 8 there. This is not helping me. I've lost something. But these are 4 different even digits. There was probably an easier way to prove that, and I'm quite lost. The 2 on this line must be up here. Oh, the two on this line. That 2 is saying 2 out of there. That's a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 is down here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. This can't be a 2. So this is only 3, 4, or 6. What can that digit... Those two must be the same digit. Because where does that digit go on this line? It's none of those 4 digits and it's none of those 2 digits. Those 2 digits there are exactly the same digit. So this is 5, 6, or 7. But again, that's been there since the beginning. I actually noticed that when I was looking at the 1s and 9s. I just didn't register it in my brain. The green digit could still be... No, and now... Right, and that means, of course, the green digit can't be that. Because this digit has to go... That digit has to go on the line somewhere, and it can only go there. So this now can't be blue or yellow. This cannot be 6. So this is not 6. That's a 5-7 pair. But green now is over here, and it must be here. So this is green, and this is a 4-6 pair. So there's no 4-6 here, and this is known. This is a 3. 3 is down here with 8. This is really, really crazy. There's a blue 4-6 in this box somewhere, but I need to put blue 4-6 on this line somewhere. So the blue 4-6 is down here. So this is the blue 4-6. And if we call this an orange 5-7, this is the orange 5-7. So there's no 5 or 7 on this line. Yeah, there's no 5-7 on this line down here. These are 3, 4, 6, and 8 because of the 5-7 pair. This is insane. This is a red 5-7. I think I'm doing... This is... And I know what these 2 digits are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 4 and 6. And the 4 is looking at making that the 6 and that the 4, making that the 5. This is now a 3, which is putting 3 right here, saying this is not the 3. James, what a beautiful puzzle. This is a 5 or a 6, and the 6 is making that the 5, making that the 6, taking 6 out of there. So we've got a 5-7 in this column. So this is the orange 5-7. I may not need this colouring. There's no 5 here. This is 4-7, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, and 8. And the 2 is making that the 8 and that the 2. There's no 8 there. That's the 8 on the line. The 3 is saying this isn't the 3. So this is the 3 on the line, and this is the blue 4-6. The 5 is saying there's no 5 there. The 8 is saying there's no 8. That's the 7. That's the 4. That's the 7, meaning that the blue is the 6 and the green is the 4. And I can get rid of the green colouring and the blue colouring. This is stunning. The 2 is looking up, making that the 3 and that the 2. The 7 makes that the 5 and that the 8. I'm very tempted to get rid of the colouring on these 5-7 pairs now that they're completely locked down to pairs. Okay. I'm quite comfortable with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, and 7. The 3 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not sure. Need to put a 4 in this row, which goes there. So this is a 5 or a 7, and the 5 is looking up, making that the 7, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 7. The 5 is using the line to make that the 7, that the 5, which looks back, making that the 5 and that the 7. See, colouring not needed. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Not 9. I put the wrong thing in. 6. The 6 is looking down, taking the 6 out of those, making that the 6, and the 3 is looking across, making that the 5 and that the 3. These are now down to pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. The 7 looks up, making that the 5 and that the 7. The 5 is looking down, making that the 4 and that the 5. And this is a 4-6 pair, and I'll use the 4 to make that the 6 and that the 4. And that is a beautiful, beautiful puzzle. Now, this probably would have been rated. We rate the difficulties in the pack as walks in the park, and a walk in the park is a puzzle that probably doesn't need too much foreknowledge of how the constraints and the tricks of the constraints work, but can get quite tricky. The puzzles then there's the next difficulty up is a scenic hike, and an easy scenic hike may be easier than a hard walk in the park, but probably requires a little bit of knowledge of how the constraints work. And then there's the treks into the wilderness, which are the harder puzzles and probably require a little bit of experience and knowledge, and will take a bit more time. This probably would have been rated as an easy scenic hike because some knowledge of how the constraints work and how the geometry works. That's where I think this would have been rated. Maybe not the easiest one in the pack. I was told this was probably a walk in the park, and that's where I put it in because I didn't solve this until the pack had been fully created. I probably got that wrong, but it could have been one of the harder walks in the park, maybe. But I think some of these geometry tricks, maybe I missed something. But it's a beautiful puzzle, and that's all that matters. Thank you, James Sinclair, for the puzzle, and I really hope you all enjoy the pack. As I said, the videos will start coming out in a couple of days in my early video slot. I really hope you all enjoyed the Sudoku series, but more importantly, there's a big pack coming, and I really hope you enjoy it. As I said, links below to the entire pack as well as to this puzzle. And I really hope you enjoy it, and you'll be able to then find the best things since Sliced Sudoku in other places, because Sliced Sudoku for a sandwich pack, it just worked. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been months creating this pack, and we really do hope you enjoy it. Thanks everyone. And as always, good luck with your solving.